Hey, what's up guys, Khraze here, and in today's No Man's Sky video I will be showing you some cool tips and tricks that you can do in the next update. The points on the list that I'm about to show you can range anywhere from quite easy to a bit more complex and should help you out no matter if you're a newbie or an experienced traveler. Of course, some of the tips on this list might be known to you, some of them might be not, but there's still going to be something for everybody. So with all of this being said and done, without wasting any more time, let's get started. The first point on the list covers your exosuit inventory upgrade. While the typical route up until Atlas Rises was for players to go on planets and find drop pods either manually or by the means of a signal booster, Next introduces a new convenient way to get more exosuit slots at any space station exosuit terminal. Simply go on the left side of the space station where the 3 blueprint merchants lie and go to the one in the back that typically sells your exosuit upgrades and modules. Behind him there's a pod that upon activated will offer you 1 inventory upgrade in any of the 3 sections of your suit, so for tech, cargo or the normal inventory. Since you will be going to space stations often anyway, this is a very fast and reliable method of getting closer to the maximum inventory slots possible, so definitely go ahead and check that section out when you get there. While you're up on the space station, also pay attention to the little orange and blue decorations that you can randomly see on the tables. This kind of brings us to the second point, which is of course unlocking navigation data. These little items are a very good source of navigation data that is typically hard to find on planets, and they are the main way in which you search points of interest with the signal booster. There can be anywhere between 1 to 5 of them on each side, so make sure to visit any of the rooms and pay attention to the tables near the NPCs. Proceed to interact with them using the E or the square button, and it can reward you either 10 to 15 nanites or navigation data, which is like super useful and way faster than just randomly finding them on planets. Also, while being on the space station, at the 3 blueprint merchants I was talking about earlier, you can buy upgrade modules for your ships, multi-tools or exosuit. This was a feature newly added in the next update, and it's extremely convenient compared to how it was up until Atlas Rises. By just hunting blueprints randomly generated at each space station, the modules only cost nanites to buy, and upon buying them you can press E or square to place them on any slot of your choice. These modules come up in 4 classes, much like everything else in the game, of course with S being the maximum. They are all procedurally generated and typically provide 1 to 4 or even 5 bonuses. Of course, the richer the economy of a system, the greater the chance for multiple max rank upgrades modules to spawn. You can literally upgrade a typical technology with max rank only, but keep in mind that if you place too many upgrades to any given tech, that will cause them to overload and it will be unusable. For example, for my jetpack technology, I've installed 3 S-class upgrades which drastically increase the duration, speed and sprint capabilities, but if I try to add a new upgrade, it will overload them and it would be unusable. To avoid this, simply delete the extra upgrade and it will all be fine again. You still have the possibility of buying normal upgrades as they have been divided into modules and upgrades themselves like the blueprints, but these modules are definitely very good and you can definitely just put them anywhere you want, and you will only be able to see the exact numbers of the bonuses you get after they are already placed down. But the maximum rank ones are very good and provide like 4 bonuses on top of what you already have. A lot of folks, especially the beginners, are wondering why the portals on space stations don't work, thinking that they might require something to be powered. The truth is that they actually are activated, you just need connection points to them. So to establish a connection point after visiting your first portal on any space station, go to another space station or just build a base on a planet and now should be able to display your available teleport locations. Similarly, if you want to have another connection to choose from, always travel to a space station in a desired system and activate the portal over there and you should see all the connections that you have made in the past. Do keep in mind that the list of portal locations you can see at any given time is limited, so the terminus only holds like 5, maybe a little bit more than that, but that is the maximum that I have seen so far. It's still a little bit more than how it was previously up until Atlas Rises with only 4 of them. Ever since the new update went live, No Man's Sky got a very useful feature that was never in the game before called stack splitting. I'm surprised that a lot of people did not know of this. Essentially, you can now separate any stack of elements into smaller numbers down to minimum of 10, making it much more convenient, especially if you want to transfer some resources to your friends or between inventories, or if you're planning to split carbon to power up your portable refiner while you also keep some of it in order to make enriched carbon. To split a stack, just select it with your mouse and then press W or S in order to increase or decrease the split. Of course, you will have all of this prompted once you do it, so just pick up an item and down there under the icon and everything, you will see the game prompting you with a bunch of commands that you can use. Nonetheless, the process process is similar on the console as well, so just pay attention to the text prompt once you've picked the item up in your inventory. Sharing items with your friends in the lobby is done in the same way. You can just pick the item up and share it with any of your friends in that lobby and it would transfer to them. You might have tested your ship's mining beam only to realize it can easily overheat even if you try to control how much you keep it pressed. A simple way to have almost 100% uptime on it, as well as farming or killing foes extremely fast, is by literally just tapping the shoot button for less than a second. This way it will never overheat, you'll be able to continuously shoot with your mining beam, and especially for farming you'll realize it's an extremely good way of destroying asteroids and collecting their loot. The beam itself actually acts as two projectiles. They are also instant, so if two asteroids are very close to each other you can do a slight tap on the button and a slight move of the wrist to destroy two asteroids at the same time using the same beam. It works similarly in combat as well, and it has a bonus advantage of following the target and being instant, so go ahead and exercise the tap and the wrist movement and you will be able to mine asteroids very fast and kill enemies easily even if you don't have any upgrades at all. The next point on the list is about the humming eggs, aka the alien eggs that spawn those very horrific creatures that can kill you in seconds. We all know that it is a very good early method of farming a lot of money. It's just that the encounter itself is extremely dangerous and can kill you, especially early on when you don't have much upgrades. While you can go ahead and grab a few eggs while trying to dodge the raging horrors, a much better and safer way is to simply dig a tunnel underground and let the eggs fall to you. The best method I've tested so far is to mark the eggs in order for them to always be displayed on your screen. Dig a tunnel at a 45-degree angle, starting a little bit further away from the nest itself, and then when you're exactly under them, dig a small hole beneath it and proceed to shoot them. The aliens will spawn on the surface and won't be able to fit in the small hole you just built. It's actually easier than stealing candy from a baby, and it's so satisfying knowing that those alien horrors can do nothing but watch while you steal their precious eggs. But do keep in mind that if you build a hole too large or not deep enough, they will be able to actually attack you and get inside of it. Mining is an activity that you'll do often, and you might have seen certain mineable rocks or plants being able to give you a primary element as well as a secondary one, and you'll need to scan it in order to see what the bonus is. Well, seeing what the bonus item is isn't the only benefit of scanning. In fact, the only way to get that bonus material is to actually scan the item that you're about to mine. Mining something without scanning it first will not yield you the bonus resource, only the primary one, so this is a very good method of incentivizing players to just scan everything they find, especially later on when you get all your upgrades for your scanner. Then it's going to be even more worth it because not only will you get the bonus items, but you will also get a lot more units while doing this activity. The next point on the list is building multiple fleet control rooms. A lot of folks, including myself, love purchasing and sending fleets into expeditions. It's a nice passive way of earning some cash and getting some items. You might have already built your fleet command room and probably realized you can only ever send 5 frigates on any given expedition, since the maximum number of frigates anyone can own is 50. Your next question might be how you could send them all. The easy answer is to simply build more than one fleet control room. This way you'll be able to send your ships on multiple missions at the same time. The more fleet control rooms you have, the more missions you will be able to do. If you own the max number of frigates, which is 50, you'll need like 10 rooms if you plan to send them all in max parties of 5 per mission. Just keep in mind that you will need a lot of fuel to power all of them up. Up until Atlas rises, while you could indeed own multiple ships, the only way to change your active one would be to manually go to your freighter and switching it up there. Starting with the current update, there's no longer need for you to do that, and you can actually summon any of your existing ships from your quick access menu, even if you're down on planets. To do so, press X on your keyboard or the equivalent on your controller, pick up the ship icon and choose the very last option on the right side, which should be the icon with multiple ships being stacked. From there you can grab any of your own ships, even if you're on a planet. Unfortunately, this won't work for exocrafts as they will still require geobase, but at least it's a way more convenient method of just summoning any of your own ships and you don't have to go on your freighter anymore. So this is like probably one of the most convenient changes that I've seen so far in the game, and this pretty much sums up today's list of No Man's Sky next tips and tricks. Hopefully this video was useful to you, and if it was, a like and a subscribe would be super appreciated. Also add me on social media, links in the description box. There's a Discord server set up for all the fans, a few dozens of you already joined in, and I figured I'd keep the invitation going on for a little bit longer, so go ahead and grab it. You'll find the invitation link in the pinned comment. But that's all the time we have for today, everybody. I will see you guys in the next video.